Stakeout. Anton growled. Does this guy ever stop moving? A chorus of exasperated groaning answered. Nicola hadn't stayed in one location for more than maybe 5 minutes before moving on, and in Seattle traffic, that meant it was impossible to keep up with him. At one point, he was over by the Space Needle, then minutes later, he was picked up over by the Museum of Flight. It made no sense how he could keep it up. But wait, he does. Michael looked at us both. We're all idiots. We have access to his home address, and we know that he'll return there at some point. Are you suggesting we stake out like the PI did? I asked. Maybe, if that'll keep us from running like chickens with our heads cut off all over Seattle. Both Anton and I had to agree. It was best that we try Michael's idea. We pulled up just down the street of a rather average-looking house with a well-manicured lawn. Anton pointed. That's the house. Now, we agreed to take the night in shifts so that we all can get some rest. First will be Michael, then me after Michael wakes up, then Drew after I wake up. That way, we always have two sets of eyes on the place. We've still got a little time before it gets dark. Do you want to try and get a short nap in, Drew, since you'll be up for the longest stretch? I figured it was only fair, so I settled myself down across the back seat of the car, throwing a blanket over me. The back seat wasn't made for sleep. It took too long to get comfortable. Far too soon, my little nap was over. I moved behind the driver's seat, letting Michael stretch the passenger seat out more comfortably for more comfortable sleeping. I passed the blanket to him. Thanks for warming it up. He winked at me, making my ears and neck begin to blush. I hope that Anton didn't notice. Anton waited until Michael's breathing was slow and even. So, are you and Michael a thing now? Okay, I guess not. What's that? Maybe if I feign ignorance, he'll change the subject? Anton kept his eyes on the house. I asked, are you and Michael a thing now? That didn't work. I glared at him through the rearview mirror. Did you interrogate Michael too? Yup. Damn. What did he say? He shook his head. Nuh-uh. I already answered a question. It's your turn. Perfect. Just great. I really had no way out. I looked at Michael, trying to determine if he really was asleep. Trust me, love. He's out. I wouldn't ask you a question like that while he's awake. What do you take me for? Now, are you and Michael a thing? I thought for a moment. I think we're something. No shit, Sherlock, he muttered under his breath. I bristled. He just lifted his brows in defiance. You're insufferably nosy. Indeed, he smirked. I guess I couldn't put it off any longer. I sighed. I want us to be something. We almost had something this morning, but someone's text came through and busted the party. Ooh, Anton crooned. Come on now, spill the tea. I gave him an incredulous look. You know you're the reason it stopped, right? Just tell. Michael stirred and we both went silent. He didn't move again. I let out a breath. Fine. We were talking about whether I should come along tonight, and during the course of it, someone may have confessed. A light, delighted squeal came from the driver's seat. I glared at him to be quiet before continuing. And then you texted me and ruined the moment. Was there a kiss? Almost, I ground out. He winced. I'm sorry, love. How was I supposed to know that Michael finally made a move? What was with these men rushing relationships for? Good for you guys. I'm happy for you. Anton settled into the seat as if that's all he wanted to say. I scoffed at him before sitting back and looking toward the house again, only automatic outside lights coming on. Nothing happened for nearly the entire time it was mine and Anton's watch. Then a car pulled up into the driveway of the house we had been watching. I woke up Michael, and then we saw him. Nicola Socoli. He just stood there outside his car like he was waiting for someone, checking his watch. He seemed to give a sigh, then looked right at us. Knock, knock. We all jumped, and I gave a short scream as Nicola was suddenly right outside the driver's side window, smiling. His voice came muffled through the window. Do you mind? I do have other appointments to keep. He flew with preternatural speed back to his own car as if he had never left the spot. None of us had seen him approach. Even with how quick Michael flew that one time, he'd still be visible. How had he flown so fast? Michael's speed was a blur. Nicola's was a blink. We all looked at each other with shock. None of us had expected to be outright caught. That, Anton said, is not vampire speed. Not like I've seen. What was it then, if not vampire speed? The men got out of the car first, and Anton offered me his hand to exit. We walked, the two vampires in front and I in back, toward the well-manicured lawn and the nondescript house. We paused at the end of the long driveway. Put out that he had to meet us there, he sauntered over with the swagger of a very confident man, his hands in his pockets. He stopped about 15 feet away when Michael warned, That's close enough. Nicola took a hand out of one of his pockets, examining his nails. You know, it didn't have to be you, Miss Nelson, but you just had to go and get my attention. You could have been just another quick few meals, but no. Now it has to be you. What has to be me? I couldn't keep the tremor out of my voice, despite having both Michael and Anton in front of me, guarding me. You went and unbolted the chair. That was a first, or at least a first successful time. I doubt the nuts on that chair could have all been unscrewed by your little fingers alone within a few hours of trying. He made a squeaky sort of laugh. Oh, I wonder how long those have been getting loosened. How many fingers have tried before yours? Ah, but no matter. The next cell will have the chair welded to the floor. Takes care of that problem. He winked and took a step forward. So did Michael, putting himself in the middle of the line of fire. Now you, Nicola put a finger to his lips in thought as he looked at him. You look so damned familiar, but I cannot place it. Isn't that so frustrating? When it's on the tip of your tongue, like a word you can't quite remember? The wicked gleam in his eye. How did he know that metaphor? Had he gone into my mind, my memories? I squeezed my eyes shut and hid my face fully behind Anton's back, not caring that I looked like a child. A deep chuckle, and I knew he had noticed. Shit. No, I didn't glean that from your mind, Ms. Nelson. I got it from his. He stared straight into Michael's eyes. No, it doesn't need to be an hour, Mr. Anderson. Yes, I do know your name. Eerie, isn't it? I wanted to hurl. How did I find out you knew it was me? You're not the only one with people on the inside, Anton Morena. Nicholas spat Anton's name as if it were a curse. Davor should have never had pity on you. He was somehow weaker after you, despite what you may think. I don't know what happened, but once he had been absolutely, horrifically, wonderfully terrifying. Did you know that he inspired some of the fairy tales the mothers would come to tell their children at night? I suppose he finally achieved his own version of godhood in that way, though it was far from enough for him, and it's certainly far from enough for me. A look of recognition lit Nicola's face. Ah, now I remember you. He smiled at Michael. That was certainly a nasty accident. You and that poor woman who was with you. She certainly looked a lot like you. Shut up, Michael hissed through his teeth, cutting Nicola off. Perhaps she was... Ah, your sister, he crooned with a crooked smile, his chin dipping. A breath hitched in Michael's throat. I looked at him. Your sister? Kara? Kara died in the accident when... Oh, Michael, why didn't you tell me? You always treated the two like completely separate events. Because they are, Michael spat. They are. I thought about you somewhat recently, Mr. Anderson. Wondered if I could manipulate you from a distance. Maybe. Ah, yes, that was when you were so thirsty and went and bit that girl you had just gone out with, the cute blonde one. He giggled, thinking himself so clever for having tried it. How thirsty did you feel? How bad was it? I looked in horror at Nicola's face, a different realization dawning. You could have saved her, I uttered, losing my breath. Michael's face shot to me. My words stumbled. You chose to save Michael, then you chose to not save her. I could not comprehend the evil presented before me. Why? Michael roared, bolting at Nicola, clearly intending to rend his head from his shoulders. But he was too slow. Somehow, Nicola was faster than Michael's advanced speed. He grabbed Michael's face with preternatural speed, pummeling his head to the sidewalk, cracking the cement from the force. I screamed, but Anton held me behind his back, intending to shield me at any cost from this creature. Nicholas stepped back, and I rushed under Anton's arm to Michael's side. Anton swore, but was behind me a heartbeat later. Why didn't you tell me? Tell us! There were tears in Michael's eyes. It hurt too much. Why didn't he save her too? Why was it just me who got out of there? If there was no reason, just chance, then why couldn't it have been her? She had so much more to give to this world than I do. She was going to save lives. What do? I'm a glorified spell check. The shit I look at day to day doesn't change lives. My eyes narrowed. Bullshit. Unless you're saying that's all I am too, a glorified spell checker. Is that what you think I am? No. God, just... Ugh, he growled in frustration. You know that I think more highly of you. We do the same thing. Either both our work matters or not. Not one is one way and one the other. Michael's hands fisted in his hair. He didn't know how to respond. He just knew that he hurt. Nicholas sighed and spoke up. You can talk this out some other time. Or perhaps not for you, Ms. Nelson. You... He sucked a breath through his teeth. Oh, you aren't going to like this next bit. You keep your hands off of her! Michael somehow sat straight up and lunged at Nicola again, getting a fist in the gut and a leg sweeping Michael's feet out from under him. He landed flat on the ground, his head bouncing, air forced from his chest. He mocked Michael. Touching. Truly. Please, you stay down. Now, you. He flew over and lifted me by the elbow before Anton could stop him. You're coming with me. Anton stood still, eyes wide, arms helplessly out, assessing how to best help his two friends. He didn't want to escalate and make things worse for either of us. He took a step toward me. Nicola's eyes flashed. Mr. Marina, I suggest you don't try to be the hero. It won't end well for any of you. Anton stopped, his hands clenched. Michael! I screamed. He wasn't moving. I wrenched at the arm Nicola held, trying to get free, but his grip was like a vice. I had to get to him, had to help him. Shut up. He's not dead, probably. He looked down, towing the man in the ribs. Michael groaned in pain. See, not dead, he said almost brightly. He began to drag me away. Anton! He looked around, knowing that he wasn't nearly as strong as the vampire. He looked at me helplessly, hands flying to his hair in frustration. Anton needed to stay whole. Someone needed to help Michael, but he felt torn between his two friends. Somebody, help me! Help! A hand clamped over my mouth, my back pressed to Nicola's front. He hissed, "Ms. Nelson, I advise that you stop before I lose my temper again." He continued to drag me toward the car. I squirmed and continued to scream. This lunatic was going to kill me. I had no plan, just teeth and panic. I opened my mouth as wide as I could, a lazy finger of his finding its way into my mouth. I bit as hard as I could, biting through the digit. Nicola roared and let go, pushing me forward, further away from my friends. I lunged back toward them, running. "Michael! Michael!" He looked up, his gaze disoriented, unable to focus on me. Nicola grabbed me around the middle, pinning my arms and lifting me off the ground. Something pricked the side of my neck, stinging. A warmth spread, and I started feeling overwhelmingly drowsy. "No, no, no," was all I could think as I was dragged back to hell. Nicola sat an unconscious Drew in the passenger seat, buckling her seatbelt before walking around, humming a jaunty tune while wrapping his injured hand in a handkerchief and getting in. Anton stayed by Michael, guarding the one friend he could. They sped away. "Michael!" He tried to get up, an arm buckling underneath him. Anton put an arm around him, trying to help steady him as he sat up. "Drew." The raw emotion in that one word, that name, broke Anton's heart. "Oh, Michael." He helped hoist Michael to his feet, ducking under an arm to keep him upright. Michael ground out, "How do I heal faster?" Anton looked at his friend, seeing the determination in his eyes. "You mind drinking blood from scum?" Michael didn't answer, resolve frosting his features. "Let's go." My brain felt like it was trying to think through mud. I was so sleepy, even as I tried to wake up. A low, rhythmic thudding echoed, emitting almost a whooshing feeling. The smell of fish was only outdone by the salty air. Ugh, so bright. My arms felt heavy, like I couldn't lift them. I tried again, opening my eyes as I did. "Oh, bad idea, very bad idea." I squeezed my eyes shut, seeing the after images of fluorescent lights in the darkness. I shook my head, attempting to remember what happened. I was with Michael, then Anton too. Then my eyes popped open again at the memory, then shut again in pain. I blinked away the auras and the tears, striving to figure out why I couldn't control my arms or legs. I was sitting in a chair, my legs tied to the two front legs, my arms tied to the back of the chair. I attempted to pull at my restraints, but my limbs may as well have been filled with cement. It was like my veins had been pumped full of lead. I kept blinking, working to regain my vision. Then I realized where I was. A white room. I wanted to scream, but my mouth was too dry, making me cough and wheeze. "Are you awake now?" "No! God, please, I'll do anything!" I barely heard the muffled steps across the carpet as Nicola came closer. He put a bandaged hand under my chin, lifting my unsteady head. He peeled open my eyelids like he was some doctor. "Sure hope I gave you the right dose. It would be such a waste of medication if I didn't." He turned my head this way and that, observing what I certainly didn't know. "You really are a pretty little thing." I couldn't stop my tears from automatically flowing, although I was too scared, or perhaps too numbed from the medication, to fully comprehend his words. "Aw, there's no need to go and ruin that pretty face with tears." He let go of my chin as if inconvenienced by my terror. My head bobbed, still heavy from sedation. "What did you give me?" I managed to rasp out. My tongue felt too heavy, like someone had filled it with wet sand. "Ah, she speaks. Marvelous." His baritone voice was rich and deep, a voice perfect for his profession. But that voice, no matter the tone, only filled my heart with terror. What did you give me? I asked again, my tone sharper. I wished my body would just listen to me, but the medication was still doing its work. It doesn't really matter. You'll live, for now. Definitely not sucking blood that's full of sedatives. I wasn't born yesterday. He chuckled as if he was clever. So he did plan on feeding on me again. I started to shake, unable to help it. Whether from the medication or my own fear or both, I wasn't sure. You needn't be so scared. You survived being a meal last time. It's really not that bad, is it? I tried to keep my vision focused on him, but it was as if the room was tilting, rocking from one side to the other and forward to back. Wait, was that only the medication? Or were we on a boat? Nicola looked down at me, his face blank. You look confused, my dear. What is it? I glanced around, looking to figure out. Bleh. I glanced around, looking to figure out why everything was moving. Where are we? It looks familiar, does it not? I glared at him. I knew he had trashed the original white room, and this room seemed ever so slightly smaller than the original. A large swell rocked the floor. I thought I was going to vomit. The thudding rhythm continued around me. Ugh, fine. You're no fun. Yes, we're on a boat of some kind. No, you will not find help outside here. He began walking away, toward a door shaped more like a hatch on a ship than a regular rectangle. At least, I think that was the shape I was seeing. Ugh, whatever it was that he gave me really sucks to wake up from. He turned as he got to the oddly shaped door. You think you're strong, Ms. Nelson. You think silence makes you safe. His lips curved, faintly amused. But I heard your heart stutter when you saw you were back in the white room. I don't have to touch you for you to relive it. He straightened, brushing an invisible speck from his sleeve. I once sang hymns about mercy. Funny, isn't it? Now I'm rewriting scripture in blood. My scripture, my mercy. He let the pause hang, like ice water filling the space between them, before adding softly, if you put up a fuss, I will make all of your deaths, yours and those two vampires, he spat the last word with venom, as painful and as slow as I possibly can. If you're a good girl and do as you're told, I could make their ends swift and easy, yours as well. Up to you. He turned and left, the door closing and lock clicking behind him. I need to wake up all the way so I can focus. I have to figure out a way out of here or I'm going to die. Please, if there is a God up there, whoever is out there, help me. I wriggled my hands around to feel how he tied me up. Maybe, if I still had any luck left whatsoever, I could get loose at least. If I'm going down fighting, not tied to a fucking chair. I wriggled my hands, testing the knots. No rescue, no plan. Just me, a chair, and the will to fight back.